In a quaint corner of a local restaurant, a stubborn toddler adamantly refused to take a sip of his juice, leaving his father baffled and concerned. But as the tension in the air thickened, something chilling happened when the father decided to taste the juice himself. The child's innocent defiance had suddenly turned into a bone-chilling mystery. "Mommy, I really don't like this juice," Liam said again. His father sighed, and he decided he would finish it instead. However, as soon as he tasted it, he knew Liam was in trouble. There was something in this juice that shouldn't be in there. Minutes later, an ambulance arrived, and Liam's father even thought about calling the police. But what was wrong with the juice? Why did they call the ambulance? And why was Liam in trouble? But before we start, make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. "And one pizza margarita and a glass of juice for this little guy, please," Simon told the waiter. He was trying out a new restaurant that had recently opened in town with his wife, Angela, and their son, Liam. They decided to check it out, and so far they were impressed. They didn't have to wait long before the food arrived, and it looked and smelled great. Simon cut Liam's pizza into slices so he could eat it more easily, and he and Angela enjoyed their plates of pasta. Liam didn't like his juice. He had taken a couple of sips when the waiter brought it to their table, but he continued eating his pizza without even touching it again. His parents noticed, and his mother asked him, "Liam, why aren't you drinking your juice?" And if he still refused to finish it, then she knew he really didn't like it, and she or Simon finished it instead. Of course, Liam still got his dessert if he wanted it. It was just a trick she was using to see if he was being serious or just seeking attention. However, in this case, it was definitely the first one. He took another sip and then said, "Then I don't want any dessert, Mommy. The juice makes my mouth feel weird." Angela and Simon looked at each other and then back at Liam. "What did you just say, honey?" his mother asked him. He repeated what he had just said before, and his parents' eyes widened. Simon grabbed the glass of juice. He took a sip, and his whole face turned pale. "No," he whispered. "Do you have it with you?" he asked Angela, who now also understood what was happening. Yes, I have it in here somewhere," she replied while rummaging through her bag. Her face turned completely pale. They were obviously in distress, and Liam noticed this. "Mommy, Daddy, what is going on?" he asked. "Don't worry, sweetheart, you will be okay. Everything will be okay," Simon told him. Simon actually wanted to storm into the kitchen, grab whoever had made this juice by their shoulders, and ask them what they put inside it. They would pay for what they had done. He would make them regret it deeply. She found what she was looking for, an EpiPen. "Daddy, I can't breathe," Liam said, with his hands on his throat. His parents had both stood up, and his father was holding him while his mother was getting everything ready to help him. Liam could breathe again, and he realized that he recognized that feeling from before. He had had an allergic reaction. "You're okay now, buddy. We just need to get you to a doctor to check on you, but you're okay." Not even a minute later, Simon and the waiter were standing in front of a closer door. It was the manager's office. "Martin is not here at the moment, sir," the waiter said to Simon. He spent the next few minutes walking around the restaurant, approaching every single waiter he saw, when finally a voice behind him said, "Sir, I heard you were looking for me." It was the manager. Simon finally started, "Mr. Martin, do you have any idea what happened here today?" "I am going to sue you," he said. He explained that they had double-checked all the ingredients of everything they ordered because Liam was allergic to some foods, and obviously someone had made a mistake. However, the manager was very rude and uninterested. "Well, I have hired only humans to work in my kitchen, and they sometimes make mistakes," he responded. Simon was left speechless, and he would have liked to start a fight, but he knew he shouldn't. Besides, at that moment, the ambulance arrived. Without hesitation, a team of paramedics dressed in their distinct uniforms flooded the room. Dr. Martinez, a seasoned pediatrician, took stock of the situation. His brow furrowed with concentration, he reached for a familiar device. Without a moment's hesitation, he administered another dose from an EpiPen into Liam's thigh. After what felt like hours, Dr. Martinez approached the couple, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. "Liam is responding well to the treatment," he began, immediately alleviating some of their distress. "However," the doctor continued, "we'd like to keep him under observation for a bit longer, just to be certain." The journey wasn't over, but the horizon looked much brighter. Simon clenched his fist, the anger evident in his voice. "We've always been so careful, always checked labels, always informed staff." Whispers and murmurs began to circulate, hinting at a mistake in the restaurant's kitchen, perhaps a mix-up, an oversight, or sheer negligence. As Simon entered, he immediately spotted the waiter who had served them. Without hesitation, he marched up to him, his voice forceful, demanding to speak to Mr. Martin. Looking somewhat apprehensive, approached Simon. "I trusted you," Simon began, his voice quivering with emotion. "I trusted your establishment with my family, and look where that got us." He recounted the harrowing events, emphasizing the severity of the situation. "You have a responsibility," he said, pointing a finger at Mr. Martin, "not just to serve food, but to ensure safety." "I can't change what happened," he admitted, voice subdued, "but you're right. We made a grave mistake." The first step to redemption was admitting the error, and it seemed Mr. Martin's previously brusque demeanor seemed to soften. He took a deep breath, looking genuinely remorseful. "I'm truly sorry for what happened to Liam," he began, his voice laden with regret. "We found out that an inexperienced staff member mistakenly added an ingredient to the juice. Mr." While Mr. Martin's remorse seemed genuine, Simon couldn't help but sense an underlying fear. As he gazed into the manager's eyes, he realized that the gravity of potential legal consequences was beginning to dawn on him. "We'll conduct rigorous training for all staff and implement stricter checks," he vowed. "I'll personally oversee the changes to ensure the safety of every customer." His voice was firm, full of resolve. He nodded slowly, appreciating the manager's efforts, but a nagging doubt lingered. Would these promises hold? Could he ever trust this place again? Only time would tell. For now, all Simon could think of was holding his son and ensuring he remained safe from harm. Still reeling from the traumatic experience, Simon took to social media, detailing every chilling moment of the incident at the restaurant. His words, laden with raw emotion, painted a harrowing picture. "No family should ever undergo such a nightmare," he wrote, urging others to be vigilant about where they dined. In the age of digital interconnectivity, Simon's post quickly caught the attention of thousands. Shares multiplied and comments flooded in, parents empathizing, people expressing their shock, and others vowing never to patronize the restaurant. Media outlets picked up the story, further amplifying its reach. What started as one father's account became a collective outcry against negligence. The ripple effect was instantaneous. The restaurant's previously bustling ambience now echoed with silence. Negative reviews poured in, some from genuine sympathizers and others from online activists. Reservations canceled, footfall dwindled, and the establishment that once thrived was now grappling with an impending downfall, all due to a lapse in judgment. Seeing the enormity of the repercussions, Mr. Martin took the hard decision to step down. His resignation paved the way for fresh leadership, with hopes of rejuvenating the brand. Back at home, the scars of the traumatic incident began to fade, but they weren't forgotten. Simon and Angela found solace in each other's company, cherishing the bond they shared with young Liam. The harrowing experience had been a test of their resilience, but it also united them, strengthening their bond. Together they embarked on a healing journey, cherishing every moment with their brave little boy.